each year's students to come into the school itself. And the darn thing grew up. And then the performing got less and less, of course. With get overwhelmed with things that got with the teaching and so forth. And what happens when you begin to teach a lot? You don't practice enough. And if you don't practice enough, you don't dare perform. So it just sort of happened. And as you get older, well, you're not expected to anyway. Some people manage better than others, but the body is not always as fluid and easy as you get older, though I have to say I'm pretty agile. Right? I run around and jump around a lot, but I began to think some of my teachers were teaching better than I was, so that was fine. That's one of one's goals in teaching. Your student should be better than you are, finally. There was this evolution where I couldn't keep all the students. I had trained some people to do it, then I then added them on to what would be a faculty, and that's it. And finally we realized we better get our own building. We moved around from places, and some were successful and some weren't so successful, taking a room or two here in this building or that building, you know. I took things where all these buildings are across the street. There were some small buildings and nearby, and that's all I can say. It finally came to the point where we felt we had to get something of our own, and we did. I have a very good school, and a lot of good teachers, and some not so good. That happens too. You make mistakes. You think they're going to be good, and they don't turn out as well, or they got married to somebody in San Francisco and leave you. You know, these things go on. Yeah. Life evolves. A school evolves. It's fun when you see something work. You teach somebody something and it comes back to you doing well. Then you're very happy. Sometimes you tear your hair. I feel personally I'm a very lucky human being. I was allowed to do exactly what I wanted to do. I managed to do it decently, maybe not as well as I might have liked to. In other words, I wasn't the greatest violinist in the world. But, you know, the passion for the instrument is an amazing thing. If you have it, you have it. And to be allowed to play also the quality instrument I have now, that instrument is gorgeous. And to have had the means to have an instrument like that, I've been very lucky. And even though I wouldn't dare perform in public at this point, I don't sound good enough. I can play for myself and I play for the students, and you know, it's in my hands. And that's great. People often wonder about the marriage deal. I almost married one guy, and then somehow, the more I thought about it, he was another violinist, very erudite. And I thought to myself, do I really want to wake up and have breakfast with someone who's reading this erudite tome at the breakfast table? No. There was always some reason that it just never happened. And I haven't minded. It's okay. I have my big sister still around, in good shape. I have still my whole family in Washington. Of course, parents are long gone, but grateful for my sister. We have a wonderful relationship, even though we don't live together. And I have a lot of cousins, and, you know.
How does it feel to have touched so many lives in that way?
I don't think about it. I really don't think about it. I mean, it never occurs to me to think about it. If you're a teacher, you're bound to. All teachers do. No matter what you teach, you're bound to have influence on a lot of people. Sometimes you think it's not such a good influence. But I never think about it. All I think about is how much longer can I keep going? And then I keep thinking, look, you feel all right. Keep going. I'd rather keep going than just sit home and twiddle thumbs. This is the beauty. This is a, as they call it, dead Jesu. The maker of this instrument was known as Del Gesù because he put a sign of a cross on every one of his labels. And Jesu is Jesus. So his name was Guarnerius. The most famous, most people know, is Stradivarius, but Guarnerius, Stradivarius, all in Cremona, all in the same era. And the difference basically was in lifetime. Stradivarius lived to be a very old man and made instruments up to his 90s. Guarnerius died in his 40s, made fewer instruments. And therefore, in some ways, they're more valuable because there are not as many of them. But they have come to be, well, let me show you something. You're taking a picture. Look at the scroll. That's one of the signs of the maker. The scrolls very often of the Guarneri are more masculine than the Stradivarius. But they were the same period, worked at the same time in Cremona. And as I say, I'm lucky to have this. They called it the Ex Geneva because it went evidently into a home in Geneva before it came to the United States. And that's all I can tell you about it. It was made by Guarnerius. You can't trust the labels. This instrument is absolutely authentic, but the label isn't. Someone else put the label in, and it gives dates. I can't read it too well. Can't get the light right. You have to see down in here. There's a label. It's 17 something or other. The label's in there, and I say it isn't authentic, but it is about that. It's too dusty, I can't see it. I think it says 1760 something, but it's probably about that. It's, one keeps moving up. You have your first little violin, and then you have your first cheapy violin, and then if you have a family that has enough means, you get better violins. And came the time that I wanted to move up to the top rung. This is top rung. I was doing a lot of performing, and I wanted this kind of instrument. And so you shop. And I knew the moment I played this instrument, I had to have it. And my father was very nice. I couldn't afford it. And I still think it's amazing, the difference in money. He paid $10,000 for this. today